Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope your sales went well over the weekend. Something that I had never considered when making videos, leaf blowers in the area. So we're getting to be that time of the year. I wanted to make this video a little bit ago, but now I have to think about the schedules of leaf blowers. Anyhow, my name is Jeff. I'm a full-time reseller on eBay. Trying my best to survive this weird period of time that we're in. We're going to look at some we're going to look at some sales since the last What Sold video, which I believe would have been Friday night or Saturday morning. I can't even remember. Pretty slow sales for me. Since then, 10 sales at $189, not including my offline sales, my local sales. I sold a plush yesterday that you will see. It's really adorable. I showed it when I picked it up. I knew it would sell. Anything Doraemon, anything Hello Kitty, stuff like that, I find that I have really great success selling it. Gentleman was buying it for his girlfriend, and it's going to make a great birthday present. So let's go ahead and start with a few things because I don't know if the leaf blowers are going to start back up. I sold this Hillbilly comic. I had sent an offer. This is a second print. At one time, this comic was pretty hot, but it's $10 wasn't anything special, and I've had it in my store forever. It literally has like wrong shipping and handling on it. I hear them, but they're in a little bit of a distance. I might have to pause this and then re-continue. Sold this Prince magazine for $16. I'd sent an offer, and then the guy asked a question on it, and it has a little bit of damage on the back. I told him I'd do a little bit lower. I think he maybe offered $1 or $1.50 below my initial offer. So of course I'm gonna accept that to get rid of it because I didn't have that stated on the listing. I didn't see it until after he caught it. So that went out for $16. Let's see here. Sold this little patch, Camp Olive patch for $16, and that includes shipping. Going to Canada. This will be good that I can get those shipped out. And let's see here. Sold this Joe Hill basket full of heads hardcover. If you don't know who Joe Hill is, he's actually Stephen King's son. And he writes a lot of horror kind of stuff as well. This sold for $17 plus shipping and handling. Not a lot, but I mean, I'm kind of in the accepting most offers, although I do counter. For example, this one, I picked this up at a con I went to about a month and a half ago. I think I paid about, I want to say 20 for it. No, not 20, 15. And this sold for 84. I had it listed for, I want to say 100, and then there was a little bit of a sale, and then I sent a small offer because I know these things hold a lot of value. This particular cover, this particular book, anything Aliens franchise, I always pick up. And James Stokoe, he's just an incredible, I've talked about him before, he's just one of my most favorite comic book artists. The guy had messaged me and he was like, can you do 70? And I did a little bit of research and I looked and I'm like, you know, the closest ones listed were like over 100. And I'm like, look, you're getting the best deal. I'm okay if you decline. Sometimes if you truly are okay and you know it's an incredible deal, I'm okay if people pass because I know it's going to sell. And that was in this case. I'm like, this is probably the lowest I'm ever going to accept or have an offer out for this. I mean, so you can take it or you can leave it. I'm totally okay with it. I've got somebody coming to buy this water filter later on today. And, you know, filters, water filters, air filters, I'm just too scared to list them on eBay anymore. And it was kind of funny because last year I was just listing, I was trying to sell things, as I mentioned, I was trying to sell things more needed, not wanted. And, you know, before I knew water filters were very prone to getting veros, I was like listing them left and right, selling them. And then when I got a vero, I started watching other Vero videos, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm like, I gotta take all these down. So I ended up, you know, what a pain in the hat, what a pain in the butt. It's just like, as a seller, I'm literally fearful of listing so many items right now on eBay because of the large number of Veros, and I'm going to be talking about this in a little bit. I'm going to be doing an instant reaction to Josh Galt's video today, where he provided the answers that he had gotten to a number of questions, and then I'm gonna think about it, see if there's any dialogue and exchanges between you and I on this video, and then maybe do an extended reaction and give some more thoughts on what he went over. But it's an incredible video for the answers that he received. I'll link it in the description below, and it'll be interesting to see what dialogue comes out of this. And like I said, I have a really chaotic day today, so I'm trying to get this video in. I got to go run some errands. I'm selling some other stuff, but I just wanted to get all my what sold done so I could be intermittently packaging as well. Man, Myth, Magic. This is from the large esoteric book haul that I got. Continue to sell stuff out of that. This one sold for $11, not a whole lot. And then there are a few other things that I actually got shipped out over the weekend that you'll see like a little inserted clip as well. But yeah, so 5 of 10 were promoted, so a 50-50 split. Very, very measly sales. 10 for $189 is kind of like what I'm used to doing in a day, but with eBay right now, it's, you know, those days are long gone, and I hope things change. I'm gonna stop this now, come back, and then do, like I said, an instant reaction to Josh's video. Hey guys, this is gonna be a local sale that I took down off of eBay. I showed you guys when I picked this up. It's super adorable. It's great for a present. Somebody could just put a little card in there. Yeah, that's going out the door today. I'm dropping it off on the way. Maria and I are gonna go watch a movie today. A couple of eBay sales. This Captain America comic sold for $9.50. Not a big seller. Wasn't able to upsell him, I don't think. And this vintage pinback sold for $10. I accepted an offer on both of these just to get some things moving. I rescued this little bag of croquet and balls, and I thought it was from a Craigslist ad where somebody was giving away a bunch of stuff. They were moving, and I thought someone would want to, you know, buy this and have some fun on a nice summer day, and that's what happened. And part of what I kind of find enriching about what I do is rescuing things and selling them for cheap so people don't have to go buy brand new. I mean, this is one little aspect that I can help contribute to, you know, not the overproduction of items as well. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just waiting for someone to come and pick something up. So I figured I'd try and do this video. This is a really funny sale. I don't know what my wife was thinking. She bought this basically kind of generic foot powder. And I'm of the mind space that I'm trying to like get rid of stuff in the house that we no longer need. She paid $1 each for those, and I'm selling them for $8 combined. It's not a lot of money, but I'm just happy to get something out of them. All right, so the main topic of Josh's video was having to do with the 3 things that he's trying to get some answers on. He's trying to get some answers on whether or not you're allowed to cross list, whether he wanted to get some more clarification on Veros and why we're getting Veros about companies that are not on the Vero list. And then he's also trying to set up a meeting with the president of eBay, which is idealistic but amazing and awesome. And he got a lot of clarification, kind of vague clarification on all 3 of them. I only really want to touch upon the first 2 about cross-listing. It has become painfully obvious. Well, first off, he wasn't sure after reading the terms of agreement between eBay and us. He thought it might be in violation, and so he wanted to, he wanted eBay to basically say it's okay. And while they didn't say that, he got enough, and I'm gonna, like I said, leave for you to watch the video. He got enough answers, because it's a very gray area, but he thinks it's okay. He thinks that yes, it's okay. There are still risks. eBay can change their mind at any time, and this is why eBay makes it an extremely gray area, despite them inviting List Perfectly and Vendu. And so, I mean, I don't know, but like I've heard they invite them to like their big meetings and whatnot. Sorry, I shouldn't say whatnot, because I don't want you to think I'm talking about whatnot, because I'm not. So, and it has become apparent, and I'm learning this more and more, that you cannot make a living off of eBay. In the current climate, just off of eBay, you have to do something else. I used to think that you could, but I'm more and more beginning to think that they're limiting sales, or their site is just broken, and maybe it will change. Maybe it will change, but we have to adapt in some way. And a lot of people are adapting with cross-listing. I do a lot of local things. I will be doing some cross-listing, but I'm slow to adopt, and that's on me, and that's okay. But it is frustrating that, sorry, I thought that was the person I'm meeting. It is frustrating because I used to, my daily goal of eBay was 10 items sold, $285 a day. I would have been happy with that. And there were times where I was hitting that all the time and more. And I was very, very close to just, hitting that on a consistent basis, or at least I saw a day when I would have enough listings that would become a reality. But now it's like, it doesn't matter how much you list, especially if the new metric to whether or not eBay sends you traffic is sell-through rate. I will never hit that. That's not my business model. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how I run my business. I am not someone out there who wants to go out and source on a continual basis for high sell-through rates. That's just not my business model. But I also, at the same time, I know that my items are desirable. And anybody who looks at my stores and tells me that it's me, it's not me. It's not me, and it's not you, and it's not the other, hundreds of other people on eBay selling who are experiencing slow sales when they know what their, they know what an average day is. And it's not just, Josh mentioned, and this happens to me all the time, where his Saturday was super slow. He had sold like $200 in I believe he said most of the day, and then in an 11-minute window he gets $700 in sales across a number of different items. It wasn't just like one item. And I see that happen with orders. I see that happen with the ability to send offers to watchers. It's like they happen in bunches, and that's not organic. That is not normal. That's not how it could happen like that, but it consistently happens like that. And I hear that from you guys all the time. And I also hear a lot of you guys quitting, leaving, thinking about cross-listing, and really it's just a matter of time before eBay's bottom line is severely impacted. And they will be the ones forced to adopt and adapt and change. And, everything is cyclical. Everything changes and is always changing. And, the good times never last and the bad times never last. And that's kind of the mentality that I'm trying to have right now. Now, the other point that Josh wanted clarification on was like, and this is something that I have talked about for months and months and months. Veros and counterfeit items are gonna be a huge problem going forward unless eBay can get their head around it and not punish the sellers who make legitimate, honest mistakes. eBay has to figure that out for themselves. If they don't, we're just going to get veroed and counterfeited off the platform. I'm 100% convinced of it. And again, that will impact their bottom line if they're basically kicking or suspending good sellers off the platform because of the current rules that are in place, which are intentionally vague. And I continue to pound the table that there is no good reason why there are known veros. For example, bomber. This example keeps coming back because it is such a simple one that we're not allowed to use the word bomber in our listings. Now, I've heard that you're allowed to use the word bomber if it's not pertaining to the product line that the Mad Bomber company, who has that trademarked, if it's any of the products that they currently have, if you're trying to sell something like that, you can't use the word bomber. But if you had, say, a refrigerator that was, for some reason, it had let's say a bomber plane on it, maybe a custom designed bomber plane, and you use the word bomber in that listing of a refrigerator that the Mad Bomber company doesn't sell, I've heard that's okay. I wouldn't risk it. I don't trust eBay as far as I can throw them when I'm told one thing, because I've been told the same thing by multiple reps, and then a month later I'm told something completely different. So I don't know who to believe. So at the point of listing a pop-up, this would not be difficult for eBay to do, to have a pop-up come up. If we're trying to list, let's say, a bomber jacket, and we have bomber in the title, you guys have all heard this, but I'm just pounding the table for this because it's something that's so simple that we as sellers would know that eBay is actually trying to look out for us. And I get tired of hearing, eBay hiding behind the gray area of business because they don't want to commit, but yet they're all too quick to blame us, to vero us, to take down our listings and take down our items. I have heard from a representative as well. This is when I was dealing with my vero stuff in April, that an eBay told me that there are legit companies out there on the vero list that specifically asked eBay to not be included in their vero list. Like, how shady is that? And eBay is complicit with that. Take it with a grain of salt. Again, this is just me telling a story of what an eBay rep told me. Hi, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Deal complete. Yeah, like I said, these are just my snap initial reactions. The vero one, because and I've heard that the counterfeits are like really ramping up. James over at My Boring Reseller Life has basically, he was commenting how this weekend he is just getting an insane amount. I haven't gotten any yet. It seems to be a lot of clothing, hats, which I do sell a lot of hats. I'm like almost expecting one to come through. And we as sellers, we shouldn't live in this perpetual state of fear that, we get these veros, we get these counterfeits, we get these, warnings and final warnings. And like, how are we supposed to build a business long term when we don't know the rules? And it's not enough for eBay to hide behind a certain gray area when the stakes are so high. It's one thing if we couldn't get suspended over these veros, or they were able to make a distinction between repeat offenders, people who are just blatantly follow the rules. And I think there needs to be a combination of checks and balances that eBay puts in place to help sellers, save us from ourselves, help us at the point of listing to identify known veros, to give us a heads up so the risk that we're taking is on us. And the first time that you get a vero that is a clearly innocent vero, it's not a warning. It's not a warning that has impact. It is, look at it like a warning, as if you've been told don't use the word bomber. And then if I go ahead and use the word bomber again, if I just disregard that, then that's the vero that goes on your account. Because as of now, you just get a vero and that's it. So eBay has to figure out a way to discern between innocent veros and repeat offenders. Yeah, so those are my snap reactions. I get pretty fired up because, I had this idea in my head that I could actually build an eBay business. And now it is starting to, like, just an eBay business. Like, I could just buy and sell and resell and build like an empire. Like, that's kind of what I always, want to build an empire on eBay. But now I'm doubting whether or not that's actually even possible to do that just on eBay. And the thing is a lot of people who have never had veros, or have never had veros, and they might think that this is not that big of a deal. It's not a big deal until it happens to you. And then when you get a string of veros, and then you start to, you're being put in a position where, wow, just think about this. Think about if you couldn't sell on eBay, how that would impact you. And maybe it wouldn't impact you as much if, like, you're very, very low part-time. But think about how it would impact you if you suddenly lost your ability to sell on eBay based on no real fault of your own. And then think about what eBay is doing or not doing to prevent that from happening. And it's infuriating. But I had a thought the other day. I had a thought because local sales were going so well. And I was thinking what it would be like if I could have this thought and it actually be true. So my thought was, what if I woke up one day and I suddenly realized that I didn't need eBay? How freeing that would be. Now, let me reiterate. I love eBay. I love everything that they stand for. I don't actually like a lot of their policies and the things that are going on with the company right now. It's the worst that I've ever seen it. It's the worst that many people who have been on the platform longer than I have ever seen it. It is cause for major concern. But what would that thought be like if I could sell on eBay, but I didn't feel that I actually needed them? And that's a good thought. And that is something that I want to dive into more. As it's funny, I started this YouTube channel as a way to share my experiences with eBay, and then eBay does all this dumb BS stuff, and here I'm starting to find myself sell more and more off of eBay. It's weird, but I mean, this is my journey, but it's also, it's weird. It's weird that I'm even contemplating some of these thoughts, but I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope I'm able to sell on eBay forever. But they're pulling some shady stuff right now. And there's even more. There's even some more stuff that I want to talk about that I just learned the other day. But I just want to take some time to reflect and think about it. And I'm going to do I'm going to try to do, if I find there's anything more to talk about, some more reaction to Josh's video. I'm going to rewatch it. And the real value is like reading the comments. There's some really, really amazing people in his chat. He's on every day at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, some big names are in there, and some very knowledgeable long-term eBayers. And it's a good time. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to wrap this up. If I get any more sales by the time I get home, I'm going to go run some more errands. I'll add those. If not, then I'll just assume this video is complete. And I will see you soon. And if you're still here, please feed that YouTube algorithm. Feed Algo. He really needs it. He's really hungry. So close to 1,000 subs, guys. Appreciate you all. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.